Hey playmates, welcome back to our clubhouse. Thank you guys so much for coming to my channel and clicking my video. So let's get started. Happy March, happy Women's Month period. You already know us queens. I'm gonna be talking about my February TBR. My February wrap up, y'all. I'm slightly out of it, y'all. Today has just this week has just not been my week, but books have been really helping me and making me feel better and self-care. So yeah, but as far as like I've been just feeling like just drained and exhausted. It's that time of the month, so bear with me if I'm a little all over the place. So yeah, I'm gonna be doing my February wrap up. So yeah, I've been a little behind. I still need to do my January wrap up, but it's coming. But I figured I shouldn't get any more behind than I already am. So this year has been really good. In total, including January and February, I have read 31 books so far, and for me that's pretty good. I feel like I am on a fast train, so that's pretty exciting. Or 29 books, I'm sorry. And my Goodreads 2024 reading challenge is 52 books, so I am 56% ahead of schedule. So that's pretty exciting. I feel like that's a little achievement, and just know that, it really doesn't matter. As long as you're reading good books, that's good. But for me, just since it's a goal that I completed, it feels really, really good. But y'all, I don't know what I'm trying to say. How much you read doesn't really matter, but it feels good to know if you set a goal if you're, completing it. All right, so most of these books, y'all, I got from the library. I'm also going to be posting my library hauls. Yes, ma'am. I love doing library hauls. I love telling you guys what I got from the library. I love supporting my library. The whole vibe it's a whole experience for me. It really just gets me energized. My whole day just feels just beautiful when I go to the library. I love my librarians there. They're so sweet and helpful, and they have so much personality, and they just brighten up my whole day. So most of these books I'm just going to show a picture because I don't have it with me. I already returned them, so let's get it. So I have Restore Me, which is part of the Shatter Me series, book number 4 by Terehe Mafi. So I started this book in January 29th, so it carried over to February 3rd, so I finished it in February, so that's why it's part of my February wrap-up. So yeah, I finished it February 3rd. Y'all, I am loving this series. I'm surprised it took me this long to get into, start to read the series. I started reading this series in December of 2023, and I've just been loving every single book. We're just getting more and more bangers as I read more, as I go along the series. Ignite Me and Restore Me, they are by far my favorite books out of this series so far. I feel like I'm just on a fast train. We're getting to the meat of the story now. A lot has happened. The ending of Restore Me had me what in the world? I was in shock. Okay, it was definitely 5 stars for me. I can't wait to read the next book. Yes, we got more Aaron, we got the characters that I love, secrets were getting revealed, and just wow. Definitely the last 20 pages of Restore Me really had me at the edge of my seat. It was hit after hit after hit just getting thrown at us. I was just hold up, let me catch my breath from the last hit, okay? So if you have not started this series, please do. If it's on your TBR, please, okay, read it. Especially, I feel like March is a really good time to start the series because it's all about a woman fighting her power and getting stronger. So it's a really good book to read for March, about women empowerment and finding your inner strength and your voice and your power, feeling strong, feeling able to be a leader and not always hide in the shadows. Don't get me started, y'all. The next book I read, which actually was a comic, I enjoy comics a lot. I am a fan of DC Comics and Marvel Comics. Like I said, I have friends, and we just fangirl over DC and Marvel. We could talk to you guys. I could talk about it for hours. My favorite Marvel character is the Incredible Hulk, but I love all of them. I made so many friends over the comics. So yeah. So this one I was actually really surprised to see in my library. I was like, no, you guys didn't. No, you guys didn't. So it is The Amazing Spider-Man Election Day by Marvel, and this is a pretty old edition. It's from 2009, and I will post a picture of the cover, but it has my president Barack Obama on the cover. I was like, no way, say less. I screamed. I grabbed that baby so fast. Look, what you mean? That is so cool. And a little fun fact about me is that I went to President Barack Obama's first inauguration. I was part of history. I was so proud. I went with my mom. I remember like it was yesterday. It was such an impactful experience that I will never forget. And wow, first black president, what more can you say? So that was really cool. And yeah, I absolutely love the graphics. I mean, come on, it's Marvel, so they're going to eat every time. Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man, he's always funny. He always comes with the jokes. He doesn't take himself seriously. I love the Amazing Spider-Man. So that was an instant 5-star read, baby. The next book I read was Honey and Spice by Bolu Babalola. This was my first book by Bolu Babalola. I know she has another book, because this was the second book, so she has a book that she wrote previously to Honey and Spice, which is Love and Color. It's a short stories, so I don't really know. I'm not like super hyped to read it. What is with this lighting? The sun is doing its thing, but I'm not super excited to read it, or but it is on my TBR. I'll read it eventually, but it doesn't really intrigue me. But anyways, back to it. So Honey and Spice. So originally, I do have a reading vlog of Honey and Spice that you guys can go watch. And this is also a library book. I snatched that baby up. It's February, Black History Month. I said this is the time to read it. It's been on my TBR, but I was like, this is the perfect time to finally read it. And yeah, y'all. So it's a YA romance book, and it deals with these black, I want to say they're African Caribbean main character. Her name is Kiki. She's very boisterous. She speaks her mind. She's like a player. She has her booty call, Zach, and she's pretty much like, don't trust men, turn the tables. Girls are players too. So it was really cool. We follow her in this university in England, and it's predominantly white. So that's a cool experience. And she finds herself in a fake dating trope with Malachi. And so yeah, initially I gave this book, I still give it 5 stars. I'll stand behind my 5 stars. My only little critiques is that it could have been shorter. I felt like it was really, really long. I also would recommend you guys to read it on Kindle Unlimited. It is on Kindle Unlimited, so I would suggest and recommend you guys to read it on Kindle Unlimited, just because the print, at least the physical copy that I got, the print was really, really small, and it just felt like it was dragging on and on. But the romance was out of this world. It was very memorable. Malachi, their cute little dates, how he was so attentive to Kiki, and he would notice when she, like the little things about her, like maybe what she might be thinking without her saying it. Their chemistry was out of this world. It was just giving black young love, and I was here for it. It was giving R&B references. It felt like a really cozy black romance, and yes, I love seeing representation of people like me and like my friends. I could relate to it because I'm in my 20s. So yes, I absolutely loved it, and I gave it 5 stars. The romance really was spectacular in the book. I just felt like it was dragging on, and it also could have shown us more than telling us, if that makes sense. So, but other than that, I would definitely recommend you guys to read it if you have not already. And yeah, because their dates were so memorable, so spectacular. Kiki, I love how they both were very passionate with each other, but also with the things that they're already like passionate about, and they were like very smart and academic, and I just really appreciated it. So we are going to move. Also, my mom at Sassy Diva JJ. You can go follow her channel. She also reviewed the book, so you can go read it or watch it and go follow her. We are like the mommy daughter duo. So yes. So my review, I said, okay, ladies, now let's get information. So yeah, the author also is part of the Beehive, so say less. I love Queen Bee, period. So that was cool. So you already know there were a lot of references to Beyonce, and the Kiki loves Beyonce as well. So there's so many references. Kai is my new king, and I just love everything about him. Kai is a good book boyfriend that I would actually want to date in real life. Cause you know I'd be hold on, I'll wait for the plane. I'm not about to fight with it. Okay, so you guys know I be delusional when I really be talking about these villainous characters are my book boyfriends, and I stand by that. But I mean, without the delusions, Kai is an actual suitable real life book boyfriend. I read Heartstopper. Oh, my heart. So Heartstopper is a graphic novel. It's also at my library. My library came in clutch for this month. So this really satisfies the romance of February. I was really in this romance cloud and I was eating it up. So I read Heartstopper Volume 1 by Alice Oseman. This is also becoming an adaptation, I believe, either a TV series or a movie. Comment down below. I don't know which one. I can't remember. Like I said, I'm a little dizzy. But, so yeah, I'm excited. I'm going to be very just... like, emotions can't even explain how I feel about this graphic novel. Something just takes over me. Charlie and Nick. Oh, man, they just give me all the feels. And to see them come to life on my, on the big screen or on my television, it's going to be very, very cool. Man, so what did I put? I gave it 5 stars. How can you not? So I said my heart stopped, and it literally did. I said Charlie's shy personality mixed with sporty Nick had me grinning ear to ear, baby. It really was the little things that had me screaming. Their cute little highs had me jumping up and down, and I like that Nick was observant and really made sure that Charlie was doing okay. I really like when they were hanging out. It was way too cute, and I can't wait to read Volume 2. And that is what more can be said. It just gave me all the feels. Man, it was done so they're just so adorable. I really wish that I can have a boyfriend like Nick and Charlie combined. They're both of their qualities, their personalities, even though they're so different, they are literally so perfect for each other. But yeah, the highs gets me every time. And man, oh man, just they be high. It's just so cute. So yeah, instant, obviously. Alright, and then obviously I had to read Heartstopper 2, Volume 2, as 5 stars once again, baby. So I said this series is making my heart smile so big and happy. I love both Nick and Charlie. So yes, just following along, and their friends, the Paris Squad. Oh, man. Man, I love their friends. Everything about them, their struggles, it's so real, especially with like growing up, why adolescent problems. Is really showing awareness to like mental health, just bullying, like your family relationships, your friends relationships. Man, I love it so much. The next book I read is Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan. This has been sitting in my Kindle since last year, y'all. So I was like, okay, this is the time that we can read Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan. Come on now, it's Black History Month, let's get to it. So I know Kennedy Ryan is a big author, and she has a black author. She has a big collection and works, especially on Kindle Unlimited. So I was really, curious, because this was my first book by Kennedy Ryan. So I'm like, okay, let me see what it is about. Let's see. And when I tell you I was not prepared, okay? How this made, how Miss Kennedy Ryan, how you need to put a yellow warning sticker or something on this book, or something. This book should have literally be sold with tissues, okay? And warning: don't have waterproof. Either don't wear eye makeup, or make sure it's waterproof, okay? Like, literally, this should have been on the front cover, because I was not prepared for how much I cried while reading this book. My goodness, just thinking about it is about to make me cry again. It's a second chance romance, and second chance romance is not my favorite, but with this, it really just gave me all the feels. Like I said, bring me the tissues, because I was an emotional ball of tears. I was a wreck, okay? Once again, it didn't have to be as long. I felt like it was dragging at some parts, but it's a second chance romance. So once you know that, you're gonna know, you want the history, you want, it was dual perspective, which I was so thankful for. We got both, I'm so bad at names. So we got both Yasmin and Josiah's perspective, which really just added to the heartbreak. The tension was so real. You just know that their love was so deep, but you were wondering, like, all throughout the book, like, what made them crumble. They call it a quits, and then you find out why, and then it's just all this grief and heartbreak and turmoil. And then they have these 2 kids, so they're trying to co-parent. And y'all, like, even though I don't have any kids, I'm not married, like, it just felt so real, and like I could just understand. And man, it was just all the mourning and how people mourn differently, and mental health, especially in the Black community, because that is something a lot of it's kind of brushed, mental health is brushed under the rug. Talking to a therapist, it's like frowned upon. So I'm really glad that, especially among Black men, because it's viewed as being weak, which is of course definitely not the case. I feel like it honestly makes you stronger. Man, it just felt so real, and I can't wait to read book 2. This Could Be Us. I think it's coming out this month. It's coming out March 5th, so I'm definitely going to be reading This Could Be Us as well. So her friends, it just felt weird, and I'm not weird, it just felt so real. And I can't wait to read more books by Miss Kennedy Ryan. Like, where have I been? I've been sleeping. Man. Let's see. After that, I read Life After Death by Sister Souljah. Oh, and I gave Miss Kennedy Ryan's Before I Let Go 5 stars. So the next book I read was Life After Death by Sister Souljah. So this is the sequel, book 2 from The Coldest Winter Ever. So I read The Coldest Winter Ever I finished it in December of 2023. It's pretty much a Black classic. If you haven't read it, what are you doing with your life? It's definitely every Black girl should read The Coldest Winter Ever. Like, check your trigger warnings. It's very dramatic, another real Black book, Black story. Even though it's not a true story, it's a true story, okay? Yeah, it's just a very hood book, teaches you lessons, and man, winter is cold, okay? So The Coldest Winter Ever is a sequel to that, and when I tell you my jaw dropped so many times while reading that book. Do I recommend you reading Life After Death? I'm glad I read it, but I don't recommend everybody to read it. It was very disturbing, which was the point, and it was just very disgusting, very spicy. I would definitely say 18 plus. I'm in my 20s, but yeah, definitely don't read it if you're under. I would recommend people to read it that are 18 plus. It was very graphic, just very absurd, wild, but that was the whole point. So yeah, the main thing is in the title. And yeah, I'm glad that I read it. I still gave it 5 stars, baby, because I'm here for just the give me crazy, give me out of this world, It was kind of touching, so like a fantasy book more so. And it was just like very like fantastical, and yeah, but I don't really recommend you guys, like, I don't know, if you like winter and you don't have a lot of triggers, then I would say read it. But if you don't want, it's very dark, twisted, diabolical. That's all I'm gonna say. But I was very shocked, but I was glad to see this side of Sister Souljah. You could tell her writing, she took like a whole different turn from With the Coldest Winter Ever, the first book, the previous book. So it was very interesting to see, nevertheless. The next book I read, y'all, was Dear Vicky, written by Octavia Grant. It is on Kindle Unlimited. It's only 70 pages. This was my first book by Octavia Grant. The cover is what just grabbed my attention. The cover is so cool looking. You have like, I'll post it, but you see this guy, he works at the grocery store, and then you see this Dear Vicky. He's very attractive, he has his locks, and then you see this blood splatter, and yeah, y'all, this was a really fun ride. I can't talk. This was a really fun ride. If you like and Joe Goldberg, this main character, Andrew, he really was giving Joe Goldberg vibes from You. So that means it's kind of giving like stalker, possessive, it's giving jealous, it's giving dark romance-esque. But it's really, I was happy to see that it was in first person. That just added to the absurdness. You could really be in Andrew's mind, really see his thoughts. He was holding these false beliefs, these delusions. Like, y'all, it was wild. And it's only 70 pages, so what more can you ask for? But it definitely will get you out of a reading slump if you are in one. 5 stars. It was just fast-paced, a thriller, a psychological thriller. Because this guy was unhinged, okay? Let me see what I said for my review. I said, this book raised my blood pressure, okay? And it did. Andrew gave Joe Goldberg vibes. This was a thrilling ride that was short and absurd. With each sentence, I was shaking my head from shock. There was a lot of twists and turns, and this book will have you gasping, okay? There are some typos, but they don't stop the show. This will get you out of a slump, and I will be reading more of her books. So definitely 5 stars from me, baby. Then I read Heartstopper 3, Volume 3. Let's see, so I gave this one also 5 stars. Once again, it gave me all the feels. I said, aw, Nick and Charlie are so adorable together. I love their friends and everyone's different personalities. Going with them on their week-long Paris trip was fun and romantic. The teachers, if you know, you know. But anyway, the teachers were giving opposites attract, and I love that we learn more and more about them with each volume. I love how we learn more about Nick and Charlie with each volume, especially at the very end. Character development on fleek. Period. So yes, once again, just if you haven't read this series, this graphic novel, What are you doing? Get on it. So the next book I read was Should Have Thought Twice by Tanisha Stewart. So this is another psychological thriller, but this time it's a this one is a psychological thriller. It says, they say to always watch the quiet ones because you never know when they might snap. That's all you need to know, baby. That's all you need to know. It's giving, like I said, it's a psychological thriller. It deals with revenge. Come on now, I love me a vendetta book. I love me my revenge. Or at least, watching people get their revenge. And the main character I can relate to because she's kind of quiet. She, she stands to herself. So, yeah. She wants to gain her vindication over her enemies. One by one, baby. So, it says, except this last one might be a bit more of a challenge than she bargained for. And that's what it was. So I gave this book 5 stars as well. It's only 98 pages. It's a whole series, and I can't wait to devour each one. Then I read The Landlord by Brandon Massey. This was my first book by Brandon Massey, and I gave it 5 stars. He is a Black author. And the Should Have Thought Twice is by a Black author, Tanisha Stewart, and with Black characters. The Landlord by Brandon Massey. He's a popular Black author. He has a plethora of books that he has written. They're mostly psychological thrillers and horror books. So this one was more of a psychological thriller. It was more thrilling, and it all deals around this up-and-coming family. They're just trying to make it. They have a daughter, and they kind of have this. They're moved into this. They're renting a house, and it's kind of too good to be true, and it is. Okay, it's like the perfect little extravagant house, and it's kind of at a discount price. Red flag. And there's just a lot of things that are odd and a lot of peculiar things that start to happen. They feel like they're being watched. I literally feel like they're owned by their landlord. There's all these different rules that come about that weren't in their initial contract that they signed, but all of a sudden there's this new contract that has all of these tasks and rules that they have to abide by. And the husband, he is a writer, but he's still trying to find his way. So the wife is actually the breadwinner. So of course that can make him feel really less than and frustrated, because he wants to be the man of the house and earn for his family, especially since they have these great aspirations. And the wife is trying to keep up with the Joneses. She has this friend who she's kind of jealous of, because the friend has like a nice car, a nice guy as well. So she's just like, dang, I want that for myself. So like I said, so the landlord then kind of like asks the husband, to do these weird tasks for a little bit of bread. And the husband is very, he becomes very, the money and the tasks become really attractive to him, because he's like, yeah, I need this extra money. I'm trying to, work on this book. So obviously, yeah, I'll take it. And things then go downhill from there, but his landlord literally owns him, and all of this blackmailing involved. It just gets really, really wild, okay? And you're just sitting there like, how far will you go to live the American dream, basically? So that had me on the edge of my seat. The next book we have, or the last book that I read in February, was Heartstopper Volume 4. Once again, I can't keep, each volume gets better and better, and we get more, things start to develop that we start to learn. So Volume 4 was more so giving representation of mental health and trying to like how you deal with it and the process of it, and you know, also being in a relationship and how, you know, you can't let that just one person like consume you, and also think that you have to solve all your solve their problems all the way, because it takes a village, like it takes your rest of your family as well, your teachers, your friends, the parents, their siblings, like it takes a whole village to help. So that was really it's just such you can learn so much from the series, and oh, not you, Siri. So yeah, it was just really good to see their connection, their bond between Charlie and Nick. It's so beautiful to see, and all the different relationships outside of their relationship, the friends, the parish squad, like I said, both of their parents and both of their family dynamic. Man, the teachers. It's just a book about life and just relationships in general. So yes, and growing up. So those were all the books I read. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I read 12 books this month. It could have been 13 if I would have finished the Exes, but it's okay. Like I said, I'm glad that I know, like, it's okay to take a break, and if you wanted to get some rest, okay, period. So there we go, y'all. So thanks guys for watching. I will post my January wrap up soon as well, and also my March TBR. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate you all so much, and I just love seeing your comments, and that we are building our clubhouse. It just keeps getting bigger and bigger by the day. So I just appreciate you guys so much, and that's all from me.